What's going on, guys? Welcome to your 48th Java tutorial for the basic series. And what we're going to cover in today's tutorial is the get and set methods. Now, if you guys have been watching my game development tutorial series, it's pretty much, we covered this concept in that series as well. But I figured since this is the basic series, it should be included in this series for sure because it's a general way of programming, and it's used often and it's used effectively, so you probably want to know about it. So what we're going to do is actually delete our second construct fun object that we created in the last tutorial. If you guys have no idea what I'm talking about right now, just check the last tutorial, 47, and you should be caught up to where we are right now. So we have this construct fun object, and what we can do is we can refer to that object, and this object has three variables, x, y, and z, so we can just essentially change those variables within our starting point class, such as object1x is equal to now like 25. So we've changed the x variable within our class, and then we can just do a system.out.print and then just print out our object1.x, and that will print out what am I doing? This is crazy. Alright, our x, and that will print out 25. So that's pretty cool. We can mess with our variables within our construct fun class because, again, they aren't set to private or any kind of modifier. They're package private right now, but we kind of covered that already. The thing is, when we do this a lot, we can actually mess up all of these variables where we forget what the variable currently is, and it's open to every class, so every class could change this variable to something else. It'll get kind of confusing. So a good way to program, or a good methodology to use, is set all of your variables that you can to be private. And again, I switched to construct fun class, so I'm setting all of these variables to be private so no other class can have access to them. So as you can see, when we save this, our starting point class now has this error: hey, you cannot refer to this method or this variable and change it however you want. If you want to do that, you're gonna have to create some method that can relate to that information. So that's exactly what we're going to do now. And we do that with the get and set method, and these are used so often in programming that Eclipse makes it super simple to set these up. So we're going to go down below our class, and we're going to hit Control Space, and we're just going to say get, and as you can see, it has all of our variable names already, x, y, and z, and any other variable we add to this class. There should be a get and a set method. So we're going to say get x, just click that, and it sets it up for us. All it's going to do is return our x value. And we can also do this with a set method to change the current x value. So we can just hit Control Space set, and again, it has all of our variable types here. And when we click that, it takes one thing within its parameter, and then it changes our variable to whatever is being passed in. That's called set. So those are our two methods. We could do that for our x, y, and our z, but just for today's tutorial, we're just going to work with the x because they're pretty much the exact same for each one of our other variables we have set up in this class. So now how we use these methods is pretty simple. We're going to go to our starting point class, and instead of saying object.x is equal to 25, we're going to use the set method because we want to set our x variable to be 25. So we're going to say object1.setx, and as you can see, it takes an integer within its parameter, and we're going to set that integer to 25. So now we've changed our x variable with this method setx. Now the get variable is kind of like referring to our object1.x that we had previously set up, but again, we can't refer to x because it's a private variable. But what we can do is just object1.getx, and that's going to return our x value. So that's kind of how this is set up. It's a little bit more secure instead of just saying object.x equal to 25 and object.x printing it out, because now we're going to have to get that information when we want to just see what it is, and if we want to change that information, we have to set our x with a method like this. So those are common methods that you'll see a lot in programming. So again, I just want to cover it in this basic series, but that's kind of how it works. Again, the core concept, you want to set most of your variables to be private, just so other classes can't mess with your information unless if they use these get or set methods. So again, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next tutorial.